Or safe to say, the more you dig around in these cars in the corners and stuff, the more rust you find. So be careful what you try and do or try and strip off because you might not want to know. What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to strip out the interior of the ute. I'm going to get rid of all the sound deadening, the roof liner, the backing behind the seats. I'm going to get rid of the seats, and then I'm going to strip the paint off the floor so it's ready for pour 15. Let's get into it. So after vacuuming, I could see that there's something else on here, and it's not picking up too well on the camera, but there's like this black sound deadening stuff on there, so I'm going to have to peel it off. The other floor doesn't have it because welded in a new floor because that was all rusty, but this side still has the original floor, so it's still got the original crap on there, so I'll remove that now. How am I going to do that? The dry ice method is apparently pretty good, but I've found a better option. This is the stuff. Electronic freezer spray. I've heard it will do the job, so got this from J-Car. It was a little bit on the expensive side, but I guess all those aerosol kind of cans are. This is actually quite small though. It's not like a typical size like paint spray can or anything. We'll have to give it a go and see how well it works compared to the dry ice method, which is quite messy. We got a few rust holes in the floor. This thing, that rubber bung, there's still a bit of shit there. I'm probably gonna have to take this floor out. There's rust down there, rust hole there too. For the moment I won't, but I mean there's a patch panel there that's done really shittily. But I'll leave it for the moment. Okay, next up, I'm gonna remove this backing. It's not in bad condition, but just want to get under it and spray it. Maybe I shouldn't bother. Next up is taking out the dash. Apparently there's just a couple of screws up the top here and down the bottom, and we should be good to go. There's also these bad boys, that one, and one over there. And the dash is coming out. There's something attached holding it on the other side, so let me just go over there and sort out what that is. So I'm just slowly taking out the things that are connecting, that are holding the dash in. Some of the wires are stuck in pretty good, but just slowly pulling them out bit by bit. So I think there's just one or two more things I've got to disconnect, and then we're all good. Looks relatively clean back to here, except for up in that corner, which is just behind the steering column. Doesn't look very good at all, so we're gonna have to see what we can do about that. Alright, but anyway, get the dash fully out and just unplug everything. Looks like old mate who had it before me had a fairly inventive way of demisting. Little switch here, what looks to be a fan, and just blows air onto, there's another one here too, just blows air up onto the windscreen. Interesting. Well, they'll go straight in the fucking bin, that's for sure. So it's definitely a bit worse for wear. A bit dirty, is going to need a good clean up. I've got a glove box there ready to go. I got it from the Datsun parts store in Caboolture. Some of the stuff I can remove. I'll remove the cigarette lighter. I'll remove the choke. I won't need that. Wonder if I can get these, or if they're salvageable. They look fucking butchered. See what I can do with them or not do with them. Dash, I'll probably just take all that out. People still want that. The gauges, I've got a tacho, so it's basically a coupe gauge. I've got the tacho, I've got the speedo, and the, what's that, charge fuel, and then oil, high beam, charge, sorry, that's temp and fuel, then battery charge and brake. What's this? Oh yeah, the wipers, wiper and water spray, and then high beams. So these two I can get rid of. I've got another dash fascia at home that I took out that had a clock there instead of the tacho, so this one's a bit more desirable. So anyway, we'll see what we can do with this dash. So in this little bit of light you can see the holes on the floor here that I'm going to treat. There's some holes here, and obviously a patch panel there, so at some point I think I'm going to just have to cut out a fair bit of the floor there and weld in a new one. So probably that whole front of the floor really would just be easier if I cut it out. But obviously it's welded in there, so maybe I'll just do some patches at the front and a big patch sort of here that takes care of these holes, or just maybe just patch up those holes. But what I'm going to have to do is like wire brush over all that and then rust convert all that corner, make sure that it is solid and not going to basically turn into shit, not rust away. I want to just convert all behind here on the floor because that's pretty bad, and then up in this corner and then up in that corner. Alright, so let's start scrubbing off some of this rust and getting it ready for a rust converter. also going to clean this back wall here. It's got a lot of glue, bits and pieces on it. So I'm going to give, they didn't have turpentine, so I'm going to give methylated spirits a go, see how much of it comes off. I've also got brake cleaner, if I need to get a bit hardcore with it. I'm not sure what's more worn out, these brushes or my patience. Look how much gunk is in that. Fuck. Alright. Let's have a look. So there's a lot of mess at the bottom, but this is looking okay if patchy. Still got to do the corners and the lower part, but those brushes I think have had it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe this down with some wax and grease remover, maybe some metho first, just to rinse it off, and then I'm going to have to sort of soak up what's on the floor. I might just key it up with a scotch pad first. Really looks like subwoofers or something, hey? But it's actually, well, looks like welded. It's all ground down there, like roughly, but it's there. Please, if you know what this is all about, comment below. I'm caning the hand gloves today, changing them every 5 minutes. This is filthy work, so if anyone decides to do something like this, be prepared, that's all I can say. Alright, that's that top part. It's drying. I got that corner over there which you cannot see in the dark. That's even worse. Alright, now what I'm going to do again is remove all this gunk here. I'll just use the wire brushes. I bought a new pair now, or new set now. I will get into it with that. I'll use the metho, and I've got some terps as well. That might work a bit better, but the metho worked okay. And then after that, what I'm thinking about doing is, and I've been umming and ahhing about this for a little while, but I think what I'll do is I'll paint strip the floor. Just because if I'm going to paint it in Pour 15, it really needs to be onto bare metal to have the desired effect. The front half seems to be, or you know, is mostly, well, it's bare metal, so there's no worry about that. The tunnel is bare metal, but the back end of the tunnel and the back parts of the floor would be better. So it's not for looks, because I don't care how it's going to look. The seat's going to be here, and underneath the seat, right onto here, I'm going to put sound deadener and then carpet eventually. Not straight away, but it's more about just, you know, there's patch panels at the back here, there's little bits of surface rust. For the Pour 15 to work correctly, it needs to bond to the metal to create the proper seal so that you never get rust again. It's going to be a shit job paint stripping in here. I've got plenty of face masks, luckily. Thank you, COVID. But yeah, it's just going to be a messy job. It's going to be slow and time consuming, but we'll have to get into it. Anyway, I'll probably paint strip up to here. I won't worry about this again. This is going to be covered. But because I've already treated all the rust here, I couldn't be fucked really. So I'll just do these back parts here. I'll probably just go basically up to this, I don't know if you can see there or not, but up to this rail here where the seat bolts onto. Back from there back, it needs to be stripped. So it's basically this back half. So I think I may as well just do it. Famous last words, maybe it will be a real pain in the ass, but let's get into it. So as you can see, this is the part. Here it's all pretty clean, nothing too major. I've given it a wipe down, so it's looking alright. Now it's just, oh, what's that? Some bug. So this part here, along the back, in the middle, and the back part there also is what I would strip, paint strip if I'm going to put the Por 15 on it. So let's give this side a crack first and see how we go with it. Alright, here we go. This stuff is really nasty. Not much left either. From my experience, you usually layer on relatively heavy, so it really takes it up. Alright, it's bubbling up. This is coming out better than expected. Still a painfully annoying job, but it's working. Alright, I'll keep at this. I'll show you what it looks like on the next episode when I'm ready to put on the Por 15. Oh, safe to say, the more you dig around in these cars in the corners and stuff, the more rust you find. So be careful what you try and do or try and strip off because you might not want to know. Anyway, see you next episode.